YouTube, what's going on? This is professional Madden player T Davis, and in today's video, we're going over 5 money plays in the Atlanta Falcons Playbook. Once again, this is part 2 of our series that's going to be 32 parts because we're doing all 32 NFL teams' playbooks. We're doing 5 money plays in each playbook. This is here to help you guys improve whether you run one of these playbooks or whether you want to incorporate one of these plays into your own playbook, because a lot of these plays you'll see in a lot of different playbooks. The Atlanta Falcons Playbook, one of my favorite playbooks in Madden 21. I think it's a top 5 playbook. If you guys have been watching me stream at twitch.tv/JDavisBrand, you'd know that I've been running a lot of this Atlanta Falcons playbook live on stream, so make sure you check me out streaming, playing live, usually during the week between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. But this Atlanta Falcons playbook has so many good things in it. Has one of the best gun bunches. It has a lot of different things you can audible to. I just think it's a top 5 playbook in the game, man. It's super high powered on offense. Make sure you guys subscribe here to the channel on YouTube for the best pro player tips, gameplays, free ebooks, free mini schemes. It's been a grind so far, man. I'm having a blast. The support has been amazing. Madden season is here. Tournaments are starting up, man. It's been big. We got daily videos for the YouTube channel. If you guys do want to improve, play like a pro, make sure you check out my coaching sessions. We have 30-minute and 60-minute sessions, which you can find the link in the description below. Also, check out my brand new defensive ebook. We're going over the multiple defensive playbook. We have A-gap nails. We have the best coverages. We have run defense. We have all the stuff you need in order to improve on defense. So make sure you check out that in the link in the description below. But that's it for the intro, guys. Let's get into today's video. 5 money plays out of the Atlanta Falcons Playbook. Alright guys, so we're going to break down 5 money plays today in the Atlanta Falcons Playbook. This is one of my favorite playbooks in Madden 21. If you guys have been watching me stream, watching me playing live, I've been using the Atlanta Falcons Playbook a lot. I think it's a top 5 playbook in Madden 21. So the first play we're going to break down is out of the single back deuce close. And the play we're going to look at is TE angle, tight end angle. This play's been good for a few years. Every year the deuce close is really good, which I believe deuce close is really good this year. Tight end angle is always one of the main plays that I like to go to. You can run this to the short side or the wide side of the field. It's going to work versus any defense. What I like to do really, if I'm on the short hash, I like to wheel the running back. You don't need to do that. Like if you're going towards the short hash, you don't need to wheel the running back. But I just like to do it for this. Our first read really is going to be the drag route, coming over to the side of the corner route, because you're going to have a high-low read there. So if it's man-to-man, both routes will probably get open. If it's zone and they're playing underneath on hard flats, we're going to be able to wait and throw that corner out on the sidelines. If they're playing back, whether they're in cloud flats, purples, they have their zone depth sliders set to 10 to 20 yards. We're just going to take our drag every time. The streak is kind of there as a decoy to bring the zones back, but it sometimes can work versus cover 2. And then we have the angle route, which I really like this year. Angle routes are really good. They're going to beat man, and you're going to be able to lowball it kind of in the middle of zones as well. So let's go ahead and run it here. Looks like they're bringing a man blitz. We're just going to quickly hit our drag. And the good thing about drags and tight compressed formations is they're usually going to beat their man, especially if you have good speed there, and we do with Calvin Ridley. And we're able to just throw it really quickly for a nice little pickup. Once again here, they're playing back. We're just going to take our drag. So I want to break down the replay in this particular situation because this is what we're looking for against zone. Because, man is we know how to beat man. It's the same thing every time. But zone is a little different. So we're going to look here, and you're going to see, immediately I'm looking at this guy. He's the guy, right here, this linebacker. He's the guy that's in their underneath zones. So I'm watching him, and as you can see, he's really dropping back. So I know that I'm going to have this drag all day long underneath for an easy pickup. But say this guy were to bite down on this drag, and he's playing around here, he's playing underneath over here. We're going to have our corner out on the sideline. We might even have the corner out regardless on the sidelines with a possession catch. So that's what we're looking at for that. And then over here on the right side, we have our angle route, which you can kind of lowball right there with the possession catch, but it's a little bit risky with that linebacker there. So those are my main reads. It goes drag, corner route, back to the angle route, and then this is just kind of if they blitz or if they don't have any hard flats, anything over there, we're going to have that wheel route as our bailout out of the backfield. Next play we're going to break down, and it is probably my favorite play in Madden 21. In my opinion, probably a top 3 best play in Madden 21. It's going to be Atlanta Sail. And it's the same as Pat's Sail out of the Patriots playbook. It's the same as the Dolphins Sail out of the Miami playbook. These routes on this play will beat literally every coverage. It has that great C route, which you can see is highlighted right there, because that route is going to destroy man. If you have a great route runner, if you have good speed, it's going to destroy man, but you're also going to be able to throw it versus zone a lot too with a low ball You're going to have a high-low read versus zone with the flat and the C route. And I've said in a lot of my videos this year, versus zone, you want to pepper the flats. These tight end flat routes out of bunch are really good this year. You're going to get great rack animations with when you receive after catch. Then we have this post route, which is going to torch man as well. It's probably my favorite route versus man this year. And then I have to put the running back on a little route too. But then we also have that inverted outside in streak, which sometimes versus man bump will get open for a wide open touchdown. So there's a lot of things we can go to on this play. And like I said, we're going to do it versus a random play because this will work versus every coverage. All we like to do is wheel route our running back. And my first reads are initially the tight end. If it's zone, I'm looking for that tight end in the flats. And then if they're in hard flats, I'm looking to the C route. And then I'm looking backside to the post. So those are my initial progressions. Versus man, I'm looking C route and post, and I'm seeing which one I think I can throw to where the user is. So as you can see here, I know that they're in zone, but he's going to cut across. Looks like a cover 2 look. We're just going to boom, bullet past that post right when he crosses the middle of the field. Let's go ahead and run it again here. As you can see, now they're in a cover 3. They drop back, and what I tell you guys about those flats, it's an automatic 5 to 8 yards every time if they're not in hard flats this year. Those flats are just so good. Here we're in a little man coverage, it looks like, or a little zone. We like to throw that C route to the outside. It looks like a disguise coverage right there. Pretty weird coverage, but I saw he was going to get open on the sidelines. Once again, it looks like we have zone. We're just going to pepper the flats. And as you can see, you get great rack animations on these flat routes this year. They're just so good. I'm going to go ahead and run it one more time. I'm trying to get a man look so we can see it, but we're not getting any man, it looks like. Once again here, we're going to just lowball that. Oh, it was a terrible throw by Matt Ryan. Looked like he had him initially. Go ahead and run it one more time. Then I want to break it into the replay for you guys. Once again, we pepper the flats. So it's all about making the right read and always taking your flats this year. Check down. Make sure you always do. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here with this flat C route combo. They didn't play any hard flats, so if they would have any of these times, if he bites down on this and then that yellow stays up on him, once he kind of cuts to a right about here, usually, and I threw it already, that's why they're running over there, but usually you can lowball this right here, possession catch, right when on the cut. And especially if it's man-to-man, right when he cuts, boom, here, you're going to pass lead outside. He's going to torch his man. So those are your main reads, is the flat C route. Then we come here on the backside. A lot of times we're going to be able to throw this, and we could right here. We could throw that with a possession catch, and we're going to get automatic 6 yards. But this route is here just in case they're blitzing, in case we initially see that wide open. A lot of times guys will user with they'll user the guy that's supposed to be manned up on the running back. So a lot of times you'll just get him wide open in the backfield. That's something I'll go to. And then, of course, like I said, we have that post, which is going to get, it's really not great versus cover 3, but I love it versus cover 2, and I love it versus man-to-man. That route's going to torch both those coverages all day long. But our initial read is that flat C route combo. Next play we're going to break down is CLR Out, SC Out. This play is really good. It's also in gun bunch. That's why I think this Atlanta gun bunch is one of the top 3 bunches in the game. With this play now, you're going to be able to destroy cover 2, and that's what we're primarily going to break it down versus. But you can also run it versus man. You can also run it versus cover 3, cover 4. It's really a unique play. You're going to be able to make a lot of things out of this, and I'll break that down in the video here. But you're really looking for these fades versus cover 2, but that tight end post route is your money route. If you have a good route runner, good speed there, he's going to destroy man. He's going to get underneath zones, and we're going to be able to create some good zone flood concepts, but we can also beat man with it. So we can kind of go over versus everything. I'm going to do it versus cover 2 here, just to show you guys initially what you're looking for versus cover 2. So versus cover 2, I like to do a setup like this, where I streak the slot receiver, and I drag the solo side backside receiver. I'll just motion this guy out. And usually versus cover 2, we're going to be able to throw one of these, and we can hit the seams there with the streak. But a lot of times you're just reading the safety, and a lot of times that safety will kind of bite in on the streak. And we're going to be able to throw that outside route here as well. You can also bomb cover 3 out of this if you do have a route chem in the slot. But as you can see, let me kind of move over a little bit, because you want to have that bunch to the wide side, so we have room to throw that motioned out fade, because that is what is the money route versus cover 2. Go ahead and set it up again. So I like to streak the slot receiver, solo side drag square. We're going to wait, and we're going to pass through that to the outside. That's going to get outside of the deep halves all day long, because the deep halves are just not that good this year. So now we have that setup versus cover 2. That's our main setup. But now versus regular zone versus cover 3 versus cover 4, when they're disguising their zones and you don't know what to do now, there's 2 setups I like to do here. First one looks like this. We are going to have circle on a flat route like this, and we're going to motion the slot receiver over on a slant. Now, I like to either low ball the slant or throw the tight end. As you can see there, we have the slant wide open. So it's really a two-man route right there. You're looking for the slant, or you're looking for the tight end route over the top. We'll go ahead and run that one more time so you can see. We're really just kind of reading the user, kind of reading the middle of the field and seeing which one we can throw to. Once again, that slant's just open all day. The mid-read was playing the post route pretty good, so we threw the slant. So that's kind of one other way I like to beat zone. And then I'll break down one other way. And this is a more advanced way, but it's a very good way to beat zone this year. I like to flat route circle, just like this. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip the play. So we're going to have our bunch to the short side, just like this. I'm going to put my running back on a wheel route. And you guys know I love those halfback wheel flat combos like that. Then I would like to do, you can do whatever you want with the other two receivers. It really is up to you. I probably would do the motion slant again, but you could do something like this. Where you just have a little baby hitch for a check down if they're blitzing you. You can do something like this, where you have a flat hitch combo. But I really like the slant flat combo like this. I'll motion over. So now we have 3 routes to really destroy zone coverage. So as you can see, we can low ball that wheel right there, but we also had the slant. We also had the post. Let me go ahead and break it down in the replay. So that's now 3 different setups for this clear out play. You can do this same similar setup right here out of the Atlanta sale play that we did go over. But this play is just so money because look at that slant wide open. If there wasn't a mid read here, this route usually gets open. A lot of times guys will use this guy, so you're going to have this tight end post open because they're going to bite down on that slant. Also versus the blitz too, don't forget about your flat route. You can obviously check down to the flat route. This is cover 2, so not ideal. But if they're in cover 3 and they're backed off or there's blitzing, you can throw that. And then also, we also have the flat over here in case the same thing happens. And then just this running back wheel, just money route versus zone coverage. Next play we're going to break down is out of the Gun Falcon Trips formation. Its play is called Slot Drive. And, you know, this is an interesting formation. I think it's a little underrated. People don't know about it. It is 4 receivers, so all you had to do is sub in a tight end here if you wanted to make it 3 receivers, and then you can audible to all the other formations. But this play slot drive, where'd it go? Slot drive, you know, we're going to be able to beat man. We're going to be able to zone with this. That's what we're always looking for in money plays. You want to, if you're confused by the defense or you don't know exactly or you can't read it, you always want a play that has routes that can beat both coverages. That's what you call a money play when it comes to competitive Madden. Slot drive has exactly that. So our 2 main money routes is going to be the running back route. That is going to destroy man-to-man coverage. It is also going to get in between zones. Then we have the post route with the solo receiver. As you can see, that post route is money this year. Like we talked about in Atlanta sale, you're going to be able to beat man and zone with that. Now the other routes in the field, you can you can do whatever you want with them, really. I like to run it stock a lot of times. I'll just come out and kind of quick snap it because we have that smart routed in route, which is really good this year. They're good versus man. You can throw it versus zone with the possession catch. The other 2 routes are kind of your preference. Sometimes I'll keep one on the drag. Sometimes I'll flat route one if it's zone, just to bring the zones out for the running back, and then I'll have that streak as the decoy. But let's go ahead and get into it. We're gonna run it versus random plays. So, like I said, you can come out, literally just run this stock, and then it's probably one of the best plays in the game. As you can see, we have the drag or the running back. We get upfield, easy 6 yards. And this play is all about making the right read because the routes are just already so good on it. Once again here, let's go ahead and double team Von Miller. I don't want any parts of him. Once again, we can just check down here to the running back. Like I said, that running back route is money. It's automatic this year. They have to use that route. They really do. We'll go ahead and hit the post right here. Julio Jones over the middle. Matt Ryan has a bad arm, I swear. But let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here because this play is pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, we can also put either the tight end or R1 here on a flat if we wanted to. But I like to play stock, man. We're going to have so many routes that can really beat man coverage. It's probably one of my favorite plays versus man coverage. But once again, it's really going to beat zone because we're going to have these 2 underneath routes, right? And they're going to start to use one of these because if they don't have hard flats, you're going to be able to throw either one. If they do have hard flats or they start to use it down the field, we're going to have our about 10 to 15 medium yard in route. Then we have our 20 yard big deep post, which we threw right here. So it just really attacks the middle of the field, and it destroys man coverage with all these routes, and it really stresses the user. That's the main thing it's doing here, is stressing the user to really make a decision. And once the user does make that decision, bites on a route, we're going to the route that they're not on, the one that's open. Final play here we're going to break down is Dagger. And remember, guys, we always like to have our trips to the wide side of the field. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the play because we are on the left hash mark here. So we always want our trips on the wide side of the field. Play is Dagger. This was one of the best plays in Madden 20 last year. Once again this year, it is a phenomenal play. You can run it stock. It's that good. We're going to go over two different setups. We're going to run it stock, and then we're going to go over one other setup. You can also utilize motion in this. There's just a million ways you can set this play up because it's so money with that crossing route, as you can see from the inside slot receiver. But the play is already set up great because the tight end's on a drag. Those tight end drags out of trips are always good. Also have the backside dig route, smart routed already, which is a phenomenal route this year. Then we have the streak there to kind of just bring the zones back, take the man out of the play. But your money route is that crossing route, and we can do a couple different things with it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Once again, we're going to do this versus random play because it does work versus every coverage. So we're going to come out, just run it stock. We're going to read the defense. As you can see here, we're going to throw that in route wide open in the middle of the field. So that was actually pretty decent defense right there because it played the crosser decent. It also played underneath. So you do have like a high-low read here with the tight end and the crossing route. Those are my initial first reads. I'm looking for the tight end right away if I can. Then if not, I'm hitting the crosser on the sidelines. But that last resort, as you can see, that dig route is phenomenal. It gets open versus man in zone. Looks like we have man here. That crossing route is going to absolutely torch man. Calvin Ridley easily on the sidelines. That route is money versus man. That in route will also be money versus man as well. Let's go ahead and run it one more time here before we get into the replay. Here I'm going to just check down to my drag. Possession, catch that for an easy 6 yards. We will go ahead and run it one more time with this setup. Once again, let's look and see what we got. We got the crosser coming easily for a possession catch. Now let's go ahead and do the second setup. Second setup is another simple one. I'm just going to streak my tight end, and then I'm going to drag route triangle. So now we basically have a flood concept going to the left side here. We're going to have the crossing route, we're going to have the underneath drag, and we're going to have the smart routed in route. So once again, we have the high-low read with our drag route and our crossing route, but we also have that bailout route again with our smart routed in route. So it's really a levels concept, but it's also a flood concept, and it's just going to be really difficult for the defense to guard all three of these routes. I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Initially, I see the drag, but I'm waiting for that crosser. That crosser, once again, is money on the sidelines, but we really had the drag or the crosser there, either one with the high-low read. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. And as you can see, right initially, we can just throw that drag. We can get an easy 5 yards with that. We can still throw it all the way to the sidelines. This guy kind of bites on him last second, so we made the right read, and we went over the top to the crosser on the sidelines. That route is just so good. They really had to make so many adjustments in order to slow it down. See if our backside in route was getting open. Right there, you can kind of wait. Oh, this guy played it pretty decent, but he would eventually got open right there. You could probably pass it up the field, but that crossing route was absolutely naked, wide open on the sidelines. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. This is 5 money plays from the Atlanta Falcons Playbook. Once again, we're doing all 32 teams. We're doing all 32 playbooks, breaking down the best 5 money plays to help you guys improve on your offense. Whether you run one of these playbooks and you want help with it, or whether you are looking to incorporate some of these into your own playbook, or whether you just want some extra tips, make sure you subscribe here to the channel for the best tips and pro player gameplays, free mini schemes. I appreciate all you guys' support, man. Until next time, your boy T Davis is out.